Microphone check. Does my mic sound nice? Yes, it does. Welcome to this week's episode of It's About Damn Time. We focus on the real journey to being 1% better every damn day. Welcome to this week's episode of It's About Damn Time. I am Jared Dam, back in the building once again. And if you're new here, don't worry about it. I got you. It's About Damn Time. It's a podcast about self-discovery. It is my self-journey. I'm on the road to building a better me, and hopefully through conversations and revelations, you too can build a better you, because we in this together. And we need to be together for this conversation right here we about to have. Because look, for the second time, I have the beautiful, the talented, the poet, the singer, the entrepreneur. Jazz, what don't you do? Jazzy, Jhamyne. Okay, look, that's a real one right there. Stop me in my tracks. I ain't did math since like spring of '99. Jazzy, Jhamyne, Joyner is with me. Girl, what's going on? What's happening?
Hi, I'm so happy to be back. Thank you for having me.
I'm glad you're here. Because I want to look. I need to break this all the way down. I know you got some stuff. I know you got a particular project coming up, and because you do, it inspired this conversation. When it comes to like love, I'm like 45 years old, right? And I know I don't look it, you know what I'm saying? You know, the beard is popular. Thank you very much. I'm 45 years old, and there has been moments where I knew I should have left. Like I knew I should have left, and I stayed anyway.
Yeah, me too.
Oh. So
yeah,
when you told me about the title that you and your collaborator was working on, I should have known by the way you kissed me. I said, "Oh, okay." So we ain't talking about kissing. We talking about intuition. We talk about I should have.
Yeah, like I knew, but I still, made these choices.
I want to start first about that title in general, because that when you first told me about it, it gave me chills. Like what? Where?
I love that.
Where does that come from? Did you have a kiss like that? That you were just like, this is gonna be some trouble.
I've definitely had situations where I just, like you, I'm like, oh, I knew this was gonna be this, and I should have left. Even like sometimes even before like the kiss or before I even got there, I'm just like, this is gonna be one of those situations.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna do it for the plot. So I was like, okay, let's see where it goes. It's always a bad decision.
Every time we say we're gonna do it for the plot, it's always a bad decision. But
every
time we say we're gonna do it for the plot, we got to do it for the plot.
We got to do it for the plot at that point. Like you got to see it through. even if it's just for the stories at that point, just for the poems.
I'm not a poet, but yeah, I got
some stories.
All right. Well, so we're gonna before we get into just kind of talking about stuff, stories that inspired the book. I want to warm you up first. You know what I mean? I want to get you right. We're gonna play a little game. It just came to me. 30 minutes before we start recording, I was like, let's play. Should have known. Okay, so I'm going to give you a list of examples. And then you tell me was it lesson? Was it love? Was it longing? What am I missing? Lust. Yeah, you gotta tell me if it was lust. Yeah, I knew I was missing something. A big L for me.
Okay.
I'm not trying to say I'm nasty. Look, that's okay. Whatever. I might be talking too much too early. All right.
I know. Save it for the middle.
We'll save it for the middle. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna give you some examples. Now, here's a little caveat. I got you. You know what I'm saying? I don't want you to feel like you all exposed.
Okay.
We out here. You know what I'm saying? So if there's a question I give you that you like, or I don't know if I don't ready to sit there and process that yet, or if you just look at me and be like, I know Jerry got a story for that. You can hit it with the Uno reverse, and I got an answer.
I love it. Okay.
All right.
I'm excited.
It's only fair. It's only fair.
I'm excited.
All right, let's do it. Okay. All right. They kissed you, but they never really asked real questions about your life.
If you go through with that, that's definitely got to be about some lust because there's no real substance, no real connection.
Never.
It's just like, all right, this person, like, we're going to get down to business and that's it.
Yeah. Look, because I know, I ain't trying to put out my, whatever. You know what I'm saying? We're in the safe space.
Come on,
you know?
tell me. I'm listening. Give me the tea. Give me the tea.
Look, there have been some times where I know this person didn't even know my last name. Like I don't know how. Like, you know, like what? You may go to a conference. You know what I'm saying? Like in college, you know, you just.
You meet somebody. You like, oh,
yeah,
this fine.
You know, it was passionate on the steps, and one thing leads to another, and I'm just like, whoa.
We ain't even
trying to find.
Like, for real.
Yeah, I'm trying to find a bus fare to get down to New Orleans to see her. And I honestly, I don't know her last name at this point anymore. But that was some time ago.
You like, hey, you know, we had a time. A time was had.
A time was had. Yeah. Okay. All right. The next one. They text you all day, but disappear when you need support.
That's gonna be an L right there. That's gonna be an L right there. Like, if somebody can text you, and I've definitely had people who are like, oh, we're texting. They'll like tell me their life story or their problems or whatever. I'm there for them, and then boom, I need them, and it's like, where are you? Crickets. Where are you? Yeah, that person got to be a lesson right there.
That's got to be a lesson, and I know that. Look, I personally know that you had that because you were Pisces. You know what I mean? Like I know, I know the water side, the giving. You know, you want to make sure everybody good and everything, and then you like, hey, what about me? Oh man, sorry.
They're like, no, we have nothing left in our cup to pour into you. I'm sorry, girl. I'm like, I need friends too.
Right. All right. The chemistry is insane, but you felt anxious after you left.
No, it's giving some longing vibes. Maybe some like longing. A little longing and lust in there. Like, okay, like you met up with them, bam, you did it. Chemistry was off the charts, and then you leave and you're just like, ugh, like I don't know what's happening with this, but like I like this person, but also like I don't know, not completely feeling like we're there, like we're heading in that direction. So
yeah. I've definitely been there where I am. I struggle. I get nervous about situations where it's ultra passionate early, like, and not even on a sexual level, like where it's just like that conversation is so fucking intense, and I want to talk to them all the time. They want to talk to me all the time, and every spare moment, and those situations scare the hell out of me because. They burn bright and they burn fast and they burn quick.
Yeah. I actually was talking to my therapist about this. I think that was earlier this month, and I was like telling her about a past situation. And I was like, my friend said this was love bombing, and she was like, well, tell me about the situation. She's like, yeah, that's definitely some love bombing. Like nobody is really telling you at the beginning, like, I've never met anyone like you before. Like they probably haven't, but still it's a little intense for like early on in the day. And I was like, well, dang. Yeah, it was really intense. Like, you're texting all the time. Like, we're like saying all these things. Like, the chemistry's off the charts with me. Like, it was insanity. And I'm just like, you know, I'm learning how to like sit in a slow burn. I don't know that I'm there yet, but I'm learning how to sit in a slow burn because sometimes that really is where the magic is at. Like, you may not have it there immediately, but that's the thing that kind of like really is the lasting thing.
Yeah, I don't know how to do a slow burn. Like I want to learn. Like I want to learn
the art of the slow burn. Who is teaching us this? Somebody needs to have a class on this. Okay, somebody needs to have a class on this. Okay,
because I guess I feel like I'm doing. I feel like I'm doing too much, and I am doing too much, and I know it's, you know, it's all people pleasing. Want to make sure people good, and then
I feel you there.
And then it's that intensity. So like they feeling it. So I'm like, okay, well, I got to keep you know what messes me up? Why I can't do a slow burn? It's because I get told the phrase, whatever you start, you need to keep up. Right? If whatever I start, I need to keep up. If we've been talking like the last 2 weeks, like right before I go to bed and everything, and that's the norm now. Well, now for me, maybe I wasn't working on podcasting then. Maybe I didn't have like, some issues with, with my daughter that she wants to sit there and talk to me, or maybe maybe my family was calling me about something. Maybe I'm burnt out and I need just some time to recharge. But now I'm feeling guilty because I gotta keep up with what I started doing, and then when I stopped doing it, then now I'm acting funny. Which I do realize that there are a sect of people that do be doing stuff like that, but maybe I'm the problem. Maybe I don't know, but
as a recovering people pleaser, like getting out of those ways slowly but surely, I definitely feel that. And I think for me, like with the art of a slow burn, I'm very much so either like I like you at the beginning, or I don't. Like if I don't feel the romance initially, then I'm just kind of like, I don't know, like, but I'm learning that like sometimes you really do just have to like see and let it come, because sometimes it isn't like immediate attraction, but like it grows. I don't know. I'm trying to like do things differently than how I've been doing them, which is hard because it's like you got to unlearn one thing and then like implement a new thing, and yeah.
I need to finish this game up, but you just told me something that I want to kind of briefly hit it, because as an individual that has spent most of his life being friend zone, where you like, since you hold to do the whole thing where you're like, but I like you off the rip, or I don't like you off the rip. Now even though situations I've been in be like a quick burn, I feel like it take a slow burn to get to like me.
You get the slow burn and it goes
yeah, it's like that firecracker that don't pop with a short fuse, but I think it's because I don't necessarily, I'm introverted, and I don't necessarily show all of my personality up front. I'm not a flashy dude. I like, in my mind I want to be flashy, but I ain't got it. I ain't got it like that. I just be like peeping out stuff and everything. So I'm not the, you gonna see me across the room and be like, ooh, yeah, that's the one. I'm the one that you talk to at like 2:00 in the morning. Be like, why am I not dating Jared again? Like it's a realization that happens, like like
and you're
that.
like, okay, like I need to do this. We need to make this happen. Yeah, you're kind of like, you're like the person who's like, oh, this is my friend. Like we're talking it to. And I'm telling him about this other dude who's messing up, and then I'm like, dang, like he's giving good advice. Like he's a good dude, and you're like, just like, wait a minute, wait a minute now.
Yeah,
something added up.
But that realization don't really come a whole lot, because look, there was one point in time I remember being at work like a few years back, and I don't know how the conversation got started with me. I didn't bring it up. Obviously, I didn't. But somebody asked, and they were like, "Jerry, we know that you have a lot of friends that happen to be women. How many of them consider you their best friend or one of their best friends?" And I'm going through the context and everything, and I was like, about 33. They were like, what?
You're like, wait a minute.
Jazz. Like, I can't believe those words came out of my mouth. All right, the last one for this.
Way sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, look. All right, look. I'm just saying, get you a guy that you can talk on this too.
I mean, apparently, I need to do that. That's on my list now.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Look.
I might be texting you at this point.
That's what I'm saying. I'm happy to fill in. You know what I'm saying?
I'm like, you know what? Yeah. Okay.
Because I've heard it all, so it ain't go.
You like, nothing will surprise me at this point.
It's nothing.
I'm so dead.
All right, the last one for this game. The first argument makes you want to run.
That's gonna be an L right there. There was no like, wait. The first argument makes you want to run. Is it running because it was like a really bad argument, or is it just like, oh, like this person, like I don't know, like what happened in the argument? I need some context on this one.
Well, I'm gonna take this because I got a.
Okay.
I don't know if I got a story, but it's more so of like how I feel about some of these things. So
Mhm.
I be overthinking a lot. Like I told you that we talked
Mhm.
about this a lot.
Me
I be
too.
overthinking a lot, and so when I have a situation where we have our argument, I'm looking at this. I'm like, this is gonna be an argument and going forward. Like this is gonna like my ex-wife is
Mm.
a perfect example. Like the first time we had an argument, I think we argued about her family and we
Mhm.
argued about and in that it was about her doing so much for them and then not doing enough for her and not
Mhm.
having that like ambition and drive to make sure that she was good with her stuff.
Mhm.
And we had the little disagreement and everything and we passed it up. I don't even know it was came to a resolution, but we passed it up. It was cool, right?
Mhm.
And in my mind, I'm like, we're gonna argue about this for the rest of the relationship.
I don't know. Yeah, like I feel like sometimes arguments are recurring. So I should have known from the first argument.
Yeah,
But
that
like,
that
yeah.
argument, that's a real thing though. That first argument, like that will tell you what the all your arguments is going to be based upon whatever that argument
Mhm.
is. So
Mhm.
it might look different, it might show up in a different way, but that first argument is going to be your definitive argument for the
Mhm.
remainder of your relationship. It never
Mm.
fails.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about all the like situations I've had where I've like ignored red signs. Like I had an ex tell me, "Oh, like my exes have told me that I'm kind of like really nonchalant and like and just like the way that I show up or, wanting more from me in that area." And I was just like, I just know this gonna be like a thing. And sure enough.
So that was a bad. So because that person was nonchalant and the ex told them that they were upset. It drove them crazy that they were so nonchalant, like they almost didn't care about anything. They didn't show any passion,
Yeah,
and
just
that
really
it bothered.
nonchalant. Yeah, and then it became a thing in like our relationship because I was also kind of like, I'm gonna have to see what that looks like how that manifests itself and everything. But I could see it like it was coming up, and I was like, I need you to like have more concern or like passion in this situation. Like I need you to have more emotion about this.
So what would you need? What would you need in what situation would you need more emotion? Because I'm asking because I'm
Whew.
pretty nonchalant and I just and
hmm
it pisses people off.
I don't know. I think I'm just a very like emotional person,
Hmm.
and I think now in life, like in many ways, like I don't show it as much as like I used to, but I'm very sensitive. So
Right.
I'll be like, um, I don't know, like something random will like bother me, or like I'll have emotions about it, and I'll just be like, yeah, this like really bothered me, and they'll be looking at me like, what, girl, like, okay, what do you mean this bother you? Like, I don't know. I've just had situations where I'm like, oh, this came off this way to me, and other people are like, girl, it's not that. Like, you're, I don't know, like your feelings are valid, but I didn't see it
Hmm.
that way, kind of thing. Maybe they meant it this way, or like maybe this, yeah. So kind of like that. But sometimes I see things in a way immediately where I'm like, what do they mean about this? Like, what? And it comes out to me in a certain way, and people are like, yo, chill. So,
Look.
yeah.
You know what? Know the personality traits early. You know, but you can't. And
Mhm.
I ignore red flags too. And I do,
The
but I
rose-colored glasses be on.
oh man, I just try to see the good in everybody, but
I know,
and
and
the
you're like, "You
good's there. It's
can't."
just it might not just. It's
Yeah.
the one thing I keep telling my ex wife when she tell me about some of the guys that she dates, and she talk about how they are a good guys. I'm like, so they may be a good guy, but that doesn't mean
Mhm.
that they're good for you.
Yeah, that I was telling a friend of mine that the other day. I'm like, it doesn't mean that this person's a bad person, but they have some things that they need to work on that's not meshing with you right now, or like
Yeah,
it's not really what you need at this moment. So like let them go work on their thing, whatever. Yeah.
yeah,
Sometimes they're a good person but not good for you, or sometimes like they're a good person but they have stuff they need to work on, and like you can't be with them at that point in time because they need to get through things, like they're doing things that are triggering you, and you know.
yeah, yeah. When you're in a a relationship, like how do you deal with those things? First of all, do you I think the thing about triggers, because first of all, I hate the word triggers, but we gonna stay right here in that pocket, right?
It's kind of like,
It's
I don't know.
overused.
Yeah, it's overused and not like
Yeah.
always in the correct way.
Right,
Everybody's
exactly.
triggered. Like
Everybody's triggered.
trigger is a triggering word. Okay.
That part. But also people might not even really know what their triggers are. So if you're in some type of a relationship situation and someone does take you there, like how do you like identify it? Like how do you push through that? Because it might be
You know, it really depends on the person, because I've had people that it's like we're just like, it was just really toxic. And so like they're doing stuff and triggering me and I'm just like popping off. But I've also had really healthy connections with people. And I mean, this is like platonic, I said that really weird, platonic, romantic, familial, like it just kind of depends on the person. But if I have something that's really healthy and I'm like, oh, this made me feel away, I probably will like step back and I'll be like, I probably will tell them like, hey, this made me feel away and I just need like a minute. I'll hit you up in like an hour after I have a chance to like reflect, calm down, think about kind of what I want to say, why this is bothering me, because it could be something where I'm like, it's not even about this person or this situation, but it's about, something that happened many years ago and that's like coming up in this situation. So I think in a healthy situation, I really can take that step back and be like, okay, let me think about this before I just come in hot or just come in talking and I haven't really had time to like process. And I think those are the best situations, because usually if somebody gives me a chance to like really do that, I could come into the situation with a calm head and really communicate in a different way than if somebody's like not giving me space or like, we're gonna like have this conversation right now. And then I'm, just being more toxic. But I think sometimes I get triggered by things with people and I realize that it's not really because of them, but because of other stuff. And so those are things that I have to deal with and unpack, and also maybe explain it to them like, hey, I got upset in this situation. It wasn't even about you. It was about
right.
this, that, and the third. And like, this is why this comes up for me. And it manifests in this way. And, having those conversations where you can explain yourself and people can at least understand where you're coming from.
Yeah. No, that's true. That's real. That's real. All right. I wanna ask you just some questions, and then maybe if you tell me either if it's in the book, what is an experience that you had, is something just that just randomly, when you think about it, and covering when we talk about lust and talking about lessons and we talk about love. So first thing, um, I'm gonna start with lust because whatever.
I
Uh,
mean,
all
I
right,
mean.
in the regard of like, do you feel like there is a difference between um physical intimacy and just sex in general? And if you do, which I'm pretty sure I know the answer to that. So if you do, describe what that means to you.
And I will say, as a side note, it's good to start with lust because that's kind of how the book started. The book was going to be a book full of lust, pretty much, and then we kind of expanded on that. Um, but yeah. So I would say that it's different. Like being intimate, I would say is the umbrella term, and sex falls under that. And even because I have a background in gerontology and I went to school for that. And for anyone who doesn't know what that is, it's the study of aging. And in that, I talked a lot about intimacy and sex. There are other forms of intimacy: kissing, hugging, touching, cuddling, holding hands, or, there are different ways to be intimate with a person. Um, so, yeah, I would definitely say they're different.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like for me, I think a lot of times when people are craving sex, I think they are really craving physical intimacy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there's been times where I'm like, man, I am horny. Like I'm about to lose it. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it might be just it might be a time where it's just like maybe I spend time with somebody and we like watch TV and like held each other, or I could put my head in they bosom and they just kind of rub my hair until I fell asleep drooling on on their chest
Yeah.
or something like that, you know. And it's things like that where I could get up in a couple of hours the next
Yeah.
morning. I'm just like, whew.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I needed.
Yeah.
It's especially hard for guys in any age bracket to sit
Kinda
there and
regulating that,
yeah,
yeah.
to know that because for us, we're not looking like, do I need physical intimacy or do I need
Yeah.
to? We're just like, yo, I'm gonna get the intimacy when I'm having sex. So
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. And I feel like it's so different sometimes. Like, a lot of times I feel like sex is so good in that moment, and maybe even, like, a little bit after, but then, like, it wears off and you're like, I'm still kinda missing that something that I need that I thought this would fulfill." But then you get, like, to a point where you're intimate. Like, I've had situations where I've, like, cuddled with people, even platonically, and I'm just like, "Wow," that really did something for me, release of dopamine, release of, like, all these really good feelings that's more lasting, that's, getting me through the week. Um, yeah. Yeah, I would say it's so different sometimes sometimes getting that intimacy just kind of is more lasting and more fulfilling in some ways. And I also say, too, that I think when you're being intimate and physical with somebody, it's a lot better when you're doing it with somebody who you really care about, versus just being like, oh, I'm gonna hit up this person, like, scratch this itch and, like, whatever. But and it's like, I don't really want them, or like it wasn't anything else there. I just
Yeah.
needed to get that off my chest or whatever, get that out of my system.
So speaking of itches and scratches, so is there is there in the book do you have any? Give me some stories. Give me some insight about because since you said it started with lust anyway, is there
Yeah.
any parts of that where you like, hey, this is just a itch type of scratch
There were
situation?
definitely situations like that, and I think you'll see that a lot in the book. I feel like the lust section, I feel like there are parts that are intimate and sexual throughout the book,
Mm-hmm.
um, but that are more like with feeling. But I feel like
Yeah,
throughout the lust section, it's a lot more of like intensity, or like, fulfilling that need, scratching that itch kind of thing. And
yeah.
I think it really started with that section. I think I kind of brought the idea to Kay, and I was like, let's write this book together. Let's talk about like sex and intimacy. And I'm like, I've like touched on it in other books, but I never really fully explored it and like felt comfortable enough to explore that. And so I was writing these poems and I was sending them to her, and I was just like, oh, this is new. This is kind of like exciting for me to really be able to touch on this and explore this in my writing, and to like deal with, things that I haven't really dealt with, or feelings that were inside me that I didn't know were inside, different things like that. And so
Yeah.
it was a lot of like, oh, like, how do I explain or express this sexual tension? How do I explain like the way that I felt with this person? How do I explain the after of this? So there's a lot of like that in there with the both of us, of just like exploring like, what does lust look like? Even like outside of the act in and of itself. Like, what does it look like? What does it feel like? What is the texture? What is the color? What is the shape? Different things like that.
That's okay. I see what you're doing. Okay, that makes a lot of sense though. Is there an inverse there for you? Do you sit there and kind of look at the way people may lust for you, and is it surreal for you, or is it something that you're used to, or you just kind of ignore it and kind of just? How do you navigate through that, and how is that covered? Like when you talk about this book and what you're doing.
Yeah, I think I've been on all sides of that. Like, there are times where like I want somebody and it's mutual, and so we're like talking our stuff to each other, and it's like, oh, okay. There have been times where I'm like, I have no idea, and this person's like talking to me in this way, and I'm just like completely caught off guard, and I'm just like, what? or I'm the one who's like talking to them and they're like, girl, what? Like, what are you talking about? So I feel like I've been on all sides of it. And goodness, my goodness. I think I've like in various ways touched on kind of being on all sides of that in the book, and Kay as well. Like we talk about like what is it like to want somebody, but it's like not reciprocated, and like you're thinking these things and you're wanting these things and you're feeling these things, and you're like, oh, if we could just take it there, like if we could just have this moment, like imagine the chemistry. But it's like, you know, it's kind of your fantasy, like it's in your head and it's not necessarily like reciprocated. And then there are times where we're like, I want this person, that person want me, and we're writing this in the book and we're like, yeah, you know, like I'm saying this to them and they're saying this to me, and like things are sparking. And you know, there are even moments I know for sure I wrote a poem about kind of like how messy something would be if we took it there, and like, you know, I know you want these things with me, but like I have so much baggage or like so many things to unpack, and like if we take it to this point, it's only gonna get messier. It's not gonna get any better. Like, you know, I don't think we should jump in there. So there are like all sides of the coin, I guess, or both sides of the coin.
Look, Jazz, that okay. I can't wait to read that one because I can relate to that. I can relate to that. Like I have. It's hard because, you know, I know I'm conscious of my emotional baggage. I'm conscious of what I'm working on. I know sometimes, you know, I slip up, or, you know, I'm like, I fall back and I'm just like, okay, I know I've learned these lessons already. And it's almost like you see a person that's just like doe-eyed and like, oh yeah, this will be great with us. And I'm like, am going to ruin your life. Like,
look, you don't want these problems. I promise you don't want these problems. Look, we don't need to go there.
It's going to be great at first, but I am going to ruin your life. Run!
Yes, but down the road, like, this is not going to be good. We don't need to go there. No, definitely feel that. Definitely been in those situations, too.
We're down to the last segment. You know, when the last segment, you've been for, you know the vibes. You know, it's about damn time when we say it's about damn time for people to kind of learn, or maybe for yourself to learn. So this one I'm going to actually leave kind of open, and I want you to fill in the blank. So I'm going to say it, and then you go ahead and dive on in and tell me how you feel about it. It's about damn time I blank when it comes to love.
It's about damn time I listen to my intuition when it comes to love. And I think that's really, really a big one for me, and maybe for other people too. But like for me, I'm a very intuitive person. And sometimes I'm like, you know, my intuition is saying this, but like, whatever, girl, like, you know, just do whatever. And I've learned to tap into and trust my intuition more. Your gut is not going to steer you wrong. Usually whatever you feel about it is right. Like when I felt before that something was amiss, something was awry, something was wrong in any way, I was right.
All right, Jazz, tell everybody where they can find you, where they can find Kay, where they can talk about this book. Let's go.
Yes, you can find Kay at So Emotional. Kay does a lot of music too, so like listen to her music. Lots of great stuff there. You can find me at allthatjazz_, or I just started a new poetry page. So at Quoted by Jhamyne, that's Jhane, and that's the name that I use for my poetry. So definitely find me there. I also put up a lot of like covers and stuff. So yeah, find me there. Keep up with us in the book. We're going through Parly-Ari. I don't know if I'm saying that right, actually. Parly-Ari Press, which we're so appreciative and grateful. They've been great. And we're really excited for the book to come out. It has 4 sections: love, lust, longing, and loss. And the book takes you really through the arc of like a relationship or different aspects of a relationship. And it's just lots of emotions and just really great vibes. So definitely stay tuned for that. Also, I'm sorry, but my dog is barking. He's a loudmouth. He's small, so, you know, he's got to like bark a lot to assert his dominance.
You got to show. You got to show him. Yeah. But no, all that stuff will be in the show notes, and I want to make sure that people, you know, keep up with you. So when that book comes out, you know, they can we're ready to go, and then you can come back and we can talk more about love and lust and lost and lessons and everything else in between.
It will be great. Definitely will be a lot more to talk about because that's a never-ending topic.
Thank you so much for being a part of this.
Thank you. This is great as usual.
Thank you for joining me this week on It's About Damn Time. Hey, if you like what you heard, follow this podcast on Facebook, Twitter, and IG, and join the conversation on this week's episode. Link to all my socials in the show notes. You can also show love by simply giving me a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts. And of course, for more blogs, pods, and other digital content, go to thewholedamnshow.com. Until next time, I'll see you next week.